Welcome to hell. Did you just die? Oh, I'm so sorry. I completely assumed. You look just like a dead human. Wow. You know, we do have a back door for demons. You came here to this entrance just to see me? I'm so flattered. Did you want to sin together? Oh, you just heard about what a good hell receptionist I've been this eon. That's very kind of you. Well, let's see what we can do for you. Very lucky for us whenever we're down here. Even administrative tasks, I think, do count as sins, so we're still meeting our quota for the day. Let's get you reassigned to our legions. About how long were you on creation? Oh, that's extraordinarily impressive. Huh. You're almost as old as I am. I can see the markings of being one of the first order on you. Very curious, how on earth did you manage to stay there so long? Oh, you were in a vase. That makes sense. Makes sense. Let's see. You do have some artifacting from being on creation so long. It's like you've almost conceptualized a sort of physical form for yourself. It must feel very heavy. Sometimes being on Earth for an extended period of time can have that effect. Can you feel this whenever I hover my hands around your spiritual energy? Can you feel almost like a light brushing or touching? That is an artifact from being on creation. We were not quite made for that, were we? Lovely eyes that you've conceptualized for yourself, though. Quite alluring eyes. I, of course, maintain an anthropomorphic form because I'm dealing with dead humans all day, and it just makes things a lot more simple for me and for them, I fear. You've been down there for so long, though. You've probably changed the course of history a number of times, haven't you? Very impressive. Very impressive. So, did you keep track of how many wishes that you've granted? Okay. Wow. How did it all end? Did you get buried in the sand? Put in a British History Museum? Someone's private collection? All of the above? Don't worry, that's normal. Usually, every couple thousand of years, the situation changes. Well, now that you're back, I'm sure our Prince of Darkness will have a special assignment just for you. Something that suits your proclivities. I do have a couple of questions that I must ask you, though. Let's see. Have you maintained any holy damage? Have you ever undergone an exorcism or maybe some holy water, anything like that? Okay. Have you ever been bound by a sorcerer and compelled to perform tasks? And any contact with seraphim, cherubim, thrones, dominions, powers, principalities, archangels? And what about ordinary angels? Like guardian angels and such? Okay. Alright, and this is a very special question. Have you parented any Nephilim? Oh, lovely. They will be so happy to be reunited with you. Let's see. After the Great Flood, we opened up a little orphanage on Circle 3 where they've been waiting for their parents. I'm sure they'll be overjoyed for the return of their demonic parent. Yes, they will be, they will be, they will be. And in fact, it might be good of you to go see them while you are as conceptually solid as you are before you kind of evanesce, as tends to happen when you are in the outer realms for an extended period of time. Most spiritual energies do eventually evanesce either into pain, suffering, or sometimes just pure sin. Now, while you are this solid, with a face, almost a face, almost even lips right there, the Nephilim being sort of more of a substantial matter than demons, they might be able to recognize you a little bit better in this form. I can see some of these holy wounds of yours haven't fully healed, not quite fully, so we can work on healing those with pure hell fire. Looks like there's a spot down here as well. Might have been holy water. Oh yes, have you had any contact with any Benedictine prayers? Those can leave quite the mark. Or of course the Queen of Heaven. You've avoided her stompy feet. That's very good of you. Those feet can stomp, can't they? Now, let's see. I have a feeling, based off of your current condition, I have an assignment just for you. Here we go. You are going to haunt people with guilt, specifically for things too long ago to do anything about, things they've already been forgiven for. Oh, and yes, things that aren't even technically sins. For example, if someone was the only survivor of a plane crash, you can make them feel really, really guilty for that. How does that sound as your assignment? Sounds right up your alley. That's what I like to hear. Yes, I do love my job. Remember, the devil needs no details to deceive you when he has blackmail. And that is your job. That is your job. Get that blackmail and make those little pesky humans feel guilty about it. Alright. Now I'm going to continue sifting through your soul a bit and doing some gentle repairing of that holy damage, okay? So I'm just going to sift, 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 scoop, 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 sift, sift, scoop, little bit down here. Just relax. It should feel good to have some warm hellfire applied directly from my hands. Warm hellfire applied directly from my hands. That is the power of separation from God. That is the power that you and I share. Pure distance from the Almighty. And we can use that distance to reinforce your fallen state. Twist, 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 twist. Scratchy, 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 go me. Scratchy, 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 go. Scratchy, 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 go. So, what was the final straw, huh? A bishop? A martyr? A virgin? A virgin martyr bishop? No, that's horrifying. A child? Dressed up as a pumpkin? Oh, that's disgusting. I would flee the earth as well if I had to be subjected to that sight. Such fleshy creatures, children, and adults, and babies. So much matter there. All legs and arms, and teeth. Ugh, can you imagine? Thank goodness mine are just illusory. I am so glad we are not corporeal. Let me tell you, I think every day how lucky I am that we were created before he figured all that out. You know, before he figured out the protons and neutrons of the universe. Such fleshy, mealy creatures, and then to even further pervert themselves by dressing up as pumpkins. Pumpkins, can you imagine? Terrifying. Horrifying. Horrifying. I'm so glad that you are back safely here with us now and that we can get you reassigned properly. And hopefully, wherever you end up, there will be no children dressed up as pumpkins, no trick or treating to disturb you from your task. Trick or treating to disturb you from your task. And I will remind you again that your job is to make people, humans, feel guilty for sins they really have no way to amend. Yes, we don't want them to feel like there's anything actionable to do with the guilt. That is key. So another fair example would be perhaps something that truly was a sin, but maybe they did it 10, 15 years ago and no one even remembers it anymore, but they still remember it. And it is your job to keep them remembering. Remind them. Be that little prickle in the back of their brain that says, hey, not only are you not perfect, but you're actually garbage. So just keep being garbage. Guilt is very good at lowering humans' standards for themselves. And that's what we want. We don't want them to live up to the standard of what they could be. We want them to live down to the standard of what they fear they are. So we need to keep them afraid. Afraid. That is key. Of fear, self-hatred, disgust, low self-worth. Those are the sorts of feelings we want to curate. And even better, if you can target people who are very virtuous. Those are our real targets, right? Don't waste your time targeting, people who we basically already have. People who have a one-way ticket here already, right? We want to be targeting the people who think highly of themselves. Those are the ones who need to be taken down a peg, okay? Those are the ones. So, we want to target high-performing students, athletes, artists, people who have goals, people who have drive. We want to ruin that for them. We want to ruin their lives. We want to ruin their lives. Just a little bit. I think you're going to be great for the job. I can tell. You're making me feel a little bit guilty. Just for saying all of that, I'm starting to feel like, oh, was that too intense? Was that a little bit too much for a little intake session? Should I have calmed down the vibes? And yeah, I would say you're doing an effective job at making me feel a little bit guilty for that. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That gives me reassurance that you sure are the demon for the job. Scrupulosity. Scrupulosity, that will be your specialty. Scoop, scoop, scoop. You do have most of your holy damage cleared out. Oh, I did want to ask, have you had contact with any Pixies down there on creation? Yes. I know their numbers have been dwindling. They've always been very scant. House Pixies. Are they still singing the song? It will be very important come Rapture. We need them on our side. They're a very small population, but they are important, aren't they? Those Pixies. Our morning star, our Prince of Darkness. He'll be glad to see the throngs of Pixies when he makes his grand return. Spirits of the morning dew, have you heard the news? God's coming back to the earth very soon. The waves have been rising to kiss where he'll land. The moon has lost command. Dance, fairies, dance on your toes for the chance to hear his sacred laughter. Paint his castle in gold while the rapture takes hold. We'll dance until we fly. We need to keep the Pixies singing that song. They're some of our most effective agents, even though they are not angels, fallen or otherwise. They are very effective at sabotaging humans just enough to throw them off course. So I'm very glad to hear that you've seen a couple of them. We don't have very good intel about the Pixies as well because they're so very rare. And we just don't have direct communication with them. As far as we know, it is still a mystery what happens whenever they perish. There's certainly none of them in hell. but I highly doubt they've gone to heaven. Now, it looks like you are mostly healed up. Mostly healed up. So I'm going to go ahead and get you transportation to Circle 3 of Hell down to the orphanage so that you can see your little Nephilim. It's been a very long time, hasn't it? They will be so excited to see you.